Hey Gemini, it's October, guys. We are in the last days of Mercury in retrograde, so it's almost over. It's been a ride, right? It's been a ride for you. I got this shirt that I'm wearing specifically for Mercury in retrograde. I'll show you. So as you can see, it's a very stressed kitty cat. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. That is literally how I've been feeling. Like, I'm fine. It's all good. We're good. We're just riding the waves. Yeah, right? I don't know if you can feel me, but that was just not unexpected actually for myself, I think, of how it's more of emotional turmoil, I think, for myself, Mercury was. Um, and to be honest, it's communication of others, like how others communicate with me. I feel like it's affecting me for this Mercury retrograde. Comment below, how has it been affecting you? Yeah, so October. I'm using four columns. I feel like I normally have three, but I was drawn to pull four with my first reading. I'm doing air signs. That has to come out for you. I'm doing air signs first, and then since we're in a new moon today, I'm literally in new moon energy as I'm recording these videos. So I started with the air, because we're a new moon in Libra. Okay. And I'm using the same layout as last month, so if you looked in last month, Gemini, you'll know what I did. It was basically the keywords, then we have the energy we're in and the energy where we're heading with that, moving away from the energy that we're in currently. So we start off with the High Lady of Love and Compassion. I'm kind of loving that for you. Reverence, kindness, and consideration. Gemini, I really feel like there's a vulnerability about you at this moment, and I feel like it's a great time for you kind of attracting love. I feel like you are kind of in this, I feel like appreciation kind of moment. I feel as though other people are grateful for you and kind of the energy that you're in at this moment, but also that you are feeling great gratitude for those around you as well, and kind of what you attract. And I do feel like for those of you attracting love, if you're in the beginning of a relationship, I feel like you're grateful that you've attracted this person. And I'm saying it very much as though you've attracted, because I feel as though that's how this has been. You've attracted this person to you for a reason. And it feels as though you're grateful of this person, as though it's something that you, I want to say actually feels kind of unexpected, like they are being more than you expected, and that is something you're grateful for. So I feel that's good card to start with. The Hierophant second. So yeah, the Hierophant upright, I would be like, this is, based on what I just said, this is someone that brings peace, but I feel like this is someone who actually gets you outside of yourself. If this is a love reading, interesting, because I haven't had the love kind of vibe much from the readings I've done so far, but for you, Gemini, I can see this in here for you. And it is a time, the energy you're in now, and this can be actually that in relationships wise, and again, friends, family, love, that you are kind of being, instead of being like mysterious, I feel like it's someone who can really open you up and see you in a way that other people haven't before. And again, this can be for friends, family, they're seeing you. I feel like you are feeling seen, which is weird because this is not at all traditional tarot for the Hierophant. This is how it's coming through for me for you. But I feel like it's making you feel this contentment and this happiness during this time, which I'm loving. We need that. Where you're heading with this energy, yeah, Nine of Swords in reverse. So I feel like it's getting you out of yourself. So whereas before I feel like maybe you were all in your head and feeling as though the world's against you, I get this sense of a switch. A feeling as though, that you feel the abundance that you're attracting. You feel grateful and gratitude for life right now during this time. And I feel like this is the energy. And it really does feel as though it's because of what you've attracted to you. So I feel like, again, there's this personal satisfaction coming from this energy that I'm loving. A little bit of switching vibe in the next column. Let's have a look. We have the Ice Queen. So ideas preserved, non-action, and entitlement. Okay, it kind of does give me the same vibe in the sense of I feel like, again, this is self kind of pride. I feel as though you are happy with where you've got yourself and there's this contentment. yeah, it's giving me the sense of, though, again, serenity, peaceful, and I feel as though it's because this is a time where you can kind of relax into where you are in your life right now. And again, this might be bringing up ideas and bringing inspiration to you, but I feel as though you are just happy to sit within this energy. I am loving that. I do feel like there's some wisdom coming from this time. And I feel as though it's kind of like this is a great time for you to reflect on how you got to where you are now in order to kind of harness the energy that's surrounding you. The energy that you're in is the Devil card upright. So be conscious of any bad habits that may kind of interrupt the vibe that you're in. This is that Ice Queen kind of energy that I kind of touched on until I looked into the card. So as I moved from here, I felt this kind of shift and change. And I think it's more of a consciousness of realizing that you have the ability to kind of switch away from this energy if you are not careful. So the Devil card is all about bad habits, and kind of, you know, being that devil's advocate of saying, hey, this, not everything will stay this way. Try not to let that hinder you and break you, because I feel like that's there. I feel like sometimes when something's too good to be true, we allow that negative self-talk and that those negative little, maybe it is too good to be true. And then, you know, for example, in relationships, it can make you start thinking something that isn't, because you spiral, the thoughts are spiraling. And I feel like, again, that is very much about thoughts. The volcano in the background in this imagery is leading, it's kind of as though there could be those chaotic thoughts for you. So be conscious of that. But you're ready, this leads on to the Death card. Death card's amazing, that's the energy you're going. You're ready to let go of that bad habits, of anything that's hindered you previously. And I feel like this is what this is about, this time for you, really, Gemini, is about realizing what you need to let go of in order to keep the good coming in. It's about I feel like cutting off something. It could be a person, but I feel like not necessarily for all of you, because it feels as though of cutting off something that brings you into a bad space. So something that triggers you, that's something that you're coming in to let go of. But the Death card insinuates, you know, that's happening. You're going through this. So be conscious with that. With the Devil card to the Death, I'm loving it. It's about cutting things off. It's about starting a new chapter, new beginnings, death of old things. So I'm loving that, especially with this energy of you feeling so kind of in this contentment. We want that. Definitely a love reading. The Sacred Union, partnership, romance. It's a great time. If you are looking for love, this is the time to put yourself out there. This is the time for you to embrace those loving vibes. I do feel this sense of, if you are in a relationship, of it kind of something coming into a better space. So it could be that this is a great time that your relationships will see the positives, because in relationships we have ups and downs, not necessarily even relationship aspect, just in relationships, because we're sharing our life with somebody or people that, you know, they go through it with you. So you have ups and downs in your life and they're riding the waves with you. So this feels as though this is a time where you get to embrace the good side of it, the ups. This is the ups of the relationship. Loving that. And it feels very much as though a coming together, and you feeling very protective of that relationship. And I feel as though, because you want to keep it as it is, I feel like you see this goodness and you're like, you know what? Why can't we always be like this? And I feel like you're protective of that vibe. The first card in this is the Six of Wands in reverse. So she's giving me, the sun is reflecting on her a little bit. Not that we have much sun today. Okay, so I feel as though with this, the energy you're in, I do feel as though you are feeling as though you're not giving out as much as you should, or perhaps you felt you haven't done enough previously. So I feel like this again is that protective. I feel like you're trying to make sure again that you stay in this high, or that you keep the partner that you're attracting, that it does turn into something like, you know, if you are just meeting someone, that it turns into something. I feel like you might be extending that and over giving. Be aware of giving too much though. I do feel like there is a with this Devil card of kind of feeling like you're over loving. So like people who overthink, and I get this sense that there could be someone like this who's overthinker, people who overthink over love, because they're they give a lot of themselves because they think that what they're giving is not enough. I want you to be conscious of that, because again, that's not necessarily going to be beneficial in any relationship. If you give too much, it creates resentment when you're not getting that energy back. I feel like we need to, as humans, realize that sometimes we overextend ourselves and we expect the same back, but overextending yourselves unhealthy, so you don't want your partner to be overextending themselves. However, like, it's a cycle. It's again the devil, a bad habit. I don't know why I said that, so that could be very relevant to one of you. The energy you're leaning towards with this Six of Wands is leading towards the Justice card. So I feel like it is about coming into balance. You have the Death card and the Justice parallel to each other in the energy you're moving into. And you also have the Seven of Swords actually coming up to this. And so it's about, again, coming into balance and realizing that there is a healthy balance here. I do feel as though if there's something that has been in the works behind the scenes in an area of your life where you perhaps have given more to it, that it's coming into a balance where it is more give and take, more freely, and so it feels contentment more than anything to me. I feel like it's very positive in relationships. This whole reading's giving me relationships of being content in them and there being healthy balance. And so if you have had unjust, and I feel there could be someone here as well that's letting go of somebody because there was that imbalance, and about not going back to that person because it's about them getting their just worth there as well. Karma coming into play kind of thing, and things rebalancing. Interesting, Gemini. And your final column, we had the Altar Priestess, preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. It's about manifesting exactly what you want, really. This, to me, putting the passion where the heart is. To me, the heart is just because that's what's channeling through me and not this card. But it's you are forging something you wish to create. And I really do feel like in terms of relationships, you are the one attracting what you're getting. So be mindful of that, as in the sense of be aware of that, not mindful actually. Be aware of that, because I think like you need to be proud of who you are because you are open to love. And so many of us now are very close to love, especially after the last few years we've been to. And I feel slowly we're gradually opening up our hearts a little bit. And I can sense this with you, Gemini, just massively, that you are opening up your heart and it's really filtering out into your life in a very positive way in regards to relationships and the people you're attracting around you. But again, I do feel as though you have to put your work into this. So yeah, I feel like with time, things will only grow and get better. But it's a journey. The first card is the Chariot, which again is journey. It's about having options, but it's about having wisdom behind us and moving forward towards the right path. But I do feel as, again, to kind of not put all your eggs in one basket and expect something. It's about expectations, actually. And if I'm to apply this to relationships, I feel like the not having expectations is the positive thing. And I feel like this person you are attracting, whether you've been in a long-term relationship with them or you're just attracting them now, they are not somebody who deals well with meeting expectations, because it's not who they are to kind of take on the burdens of others and become that. They are who they are, and that's why you love them. And I feel like this is, again, it's just all relationships for you, Gemini, but it's realizing that maybe your expectations have been what have created dynamics for yourself in past situations, whereas you want a lighter way, you want something that's more authentic. So what you appreciate, the person that you choose to share your life with, is somebody who is free, who doesn't put themselves in a box, is what I want to say, and for you to appreciate that. Moving forward in this energy, I feel like you will see that this is someone trustworthy, that you do not have to fear them sneaking around, and that's an energy you're used to. So I feel like this is very much coming to a sense of new beginning for you in terms of relationships. And again, this can be friends and family, it doesn't have to be love, because I can just see this as in you are very much opening up in all areas of relationships. So I feel like this is a time for connections for you, Gemini, but it's realizing that you are surrounded by people who you can trust, that are not I want to say are not the energy that you used to surround yourself with, which were people that perhaps you couldn't trust, that were sneaking. You felt you had to take all of your wear an armor and hide yourself and hide your jewels. I feel as though that you feel very much comfortable, and I feel like to say, like, if I was using my Archangel Michael cards, you would get this person is real and trustworthy, that they come from a place of love. And I'm loving that for you, Gemini. I feel like it's a great time to trust those who have your heart and those that trust you. So thank you so much, Gemini. Please comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next month.